So you might notice in the title of this video, it has initial thoughts in parentheses. That means, good news, I will not be doing spoilers. This is a spoiler-free review. And to be a little more detailed, this initial thoughts video, I'm just going to get some of the thoughts that are currently on my mind right now because I literally just came back from seeing the movie. And I also want to sit with me a little bit before I get into too much detail about the film. But anyway, let's talk about The Rise of Skywalker. Spoiler free, just initial thoughts. The movie is about, I guess, them all of a sudden discovering, hey, Palpatine somehow is back. And it's the resistance versus first order kind of thing, which has now become the final order, briefly, I think. It's okay, the story doesn't really matter that much, especially since this is spoiler free. My initial thoughts are this is a mess. I mean, I'm going to be doing multiple videos now that this movie is out, multiple videos talking about Star Wars. So I'm going to get into more details about my thoughts on the behind the scenes stuff that led to this movie, but man, this is a mess. I mean, Lucasfilm and J.J. Abrams, I think, have said like they're not trying to retcon The Last Jedi, and that some of the things that are going to pop up in the movie are going to be things that they've always originally intended to happen in this final film. But once you watch this film, you know that they are very much reacting to the backlash by just doing fan service and fan service. I mean, oh man. They do a lot of fan service stuff. Good chunk of it doesn't even really make sense. I mean, wow. I mean, I've already done like a re-evaluation of The Last Jedi, and I still have some fairly big problems with it, but I have to give the movie and Rian Johnson credit. It knew what story it wanted to tell, it knew where it wanted to go, and it had clear ideas and a story that, while it has its flaws, was still a coherent film that's understandable. I mean, wow. I will say that there are a couple of things I did like this film, mostly visuals and like a couple of scenes, some small moments too. Adam Driver as Kylo Ren has always been my favorite new character of the sequel trilogy, and while I don't think it's as strong as his performance in The Last Jedi or The Force Awakens, he still does a pretty damn good job in this film. Some people have been debating about whether or not his scenes wearing the Kylo Ren helmet are versus him scenes where it's just him in his face. I like the helmet either way. Rey, I generally like Rey. I really do. But I think she's done the service in this film because The Force Awakens was set up, but then The Last Jedi, again, was just more setup. And now all of a sudden it has to do a big conclusion and wrap up everything with no actual real development. I think that's the real disservice to Rey in this film. I like her as a character, I really do, but she is just not really given much time to develop at all to show any kind of growth. Palpatine. They did not need to bring in Palpatine for this movie. But there is a visual style to him that I did kind of like. Sort of like a gothic horror kind of vibe. I personally like that. Point is, there's just so much that it is a mess. So I think that's all I'm really going to say for right now. Again, I want to let it sit with me for a little bit longer before I get into too much detail, but that's where I am right now. Comment down below your thoughts about the new film. Like, subscribe, share, and I'll see you guys next time.